And that's the crazy thing about it is it's like you have all these DJs who want to be the next Armin or the next Carl Cox or the next Hardwell, and probably more so in that realm of EDM, the next Hardwell, the next Aoki, whoever. And the crazy thing about it is they want that kind of fame and that kind of money, and that kind of perceived fame and money and glamorous lifestyle. But the insane thing about it is like everyone runs towards that extreme end, but there's a lot in between that you could achieve and be just as happy, if not happier. Like, there's been times in my life where I've been there, as a young kid growing up and seeing a lot of the punk bands. Like, I wanted to be Green Day, I wanted to be Weezer. But then at the same time you think, like, do you really? Because even though that seems like fun, there's a lot of travel involved. And at times I'm sure it's really not that fun. And this is why you see celebrities that go off the deep end, or like, God bless him, but Billy Joe struggling with alcoholism a few years ago when he freaked out on stage, or at least that's what the media reported. And when you think about, okay, so maybe I couldn't make $100,000 a year as a DJ, but wouldn't you be happy making a living wage, touring around your local coast, your local tri-state area, between your country and maybe your neighboring country? Like, what if you could make 30 a year, 40 a year, maybe 50 a year, doing what you love, and then you don't have to compromise anything? Because like a lot of people jump on the bandwagon of what's popular and they really don't even like it. They'll go for big room, but they really kind of just are morphing that because they like trance, or they go for deep house or tropical house, but what they really like is minimal tech, or something like that. And I just see a lot of people that seem like they lose sight of the big picture. It doesn't have to be I either work in a factory or, work as an electrician or work in marketing or whatever, or I want to be Tiesto. And if I can't be Tiesto, I want none of it. Like, you can make a decent living as a DJ, as like a C-level player, or even, God willing, a B-level player, and still have work-life balance, and I think that's the big thing. Like, when you really step back and look at it, and maybe for some people, like, especially when you're younger, your life isn't fully developed yet, so you don't kind of consider things like this. But like, nowadays, I love DJing, but like, I also want to learn how to publicly speak better, and I'd like to learn how to play the piano better, and I wouldn't mind being in a band as well that tours lightly, and I wouldn't mind going back to school and learning a second language and then a third language. And plus I'm married and I like being married, and I love my wife. So having a few hours a week and a few nights a month where I can veg out with her and watch a hockey game and drink a beer, or watch movies, or go away to a cabin and just reconnect with nature, like, that stuff is cool. Like, I like that. And as a kid, I think sometimes people don't really think about that. Kids don't think about that because, they're kind of just school, governed by their parents or whatever, and then there's like the musical outlet, and that's like the one and only thing. But as your life develops, you realize that there's a lot that people like, and when you realize how much time a lot of these guys sit on a plane, it seems like fun until you're actually doing it. And that's the case with a lot of things. I think more of a balanced life is just something to shoot for. And you don't have to shoot for $500,000 when in reality making 60 a year is a good payday for you, because actually you can survive on 25 or 30 a year. Really 40 a year is a good payday. So I think people lose sight of that, and they lose sight of their production, and their DJ skills sort of all kind of get swept away in this flood of hysterics of fame and what it takes, and what they think they need.